So today's soap is going to use fresh ginger lime fragrance oil. I'm going to make mica lines with 24 karat gold mica. I'm having one layer colored with lime green mojito mica, one layer with yellow shimmer mica, and titanium dioxide will be added to lighten the green, and a touch of shimmer on top. And these are my embeds. On top I have some limes and some green hearts. And my plan was to use this 1M Wilton piping tip. That was the plan, but you know, our plans don't always work out. So here is my lye water, ready to go at room temperature. And my oils are just a little bit warmer than room temperature. This is my favorite soaping temperatures. I mix the lye water and then I wait about an hour and 20 minutes or so for it to cool to room temperature. And then that to me is the perfect temperatures for my recipe. So I just stick blended up, not to trace, to very just emulsified, because I'm going to set aside 2 portions. That's the white portion, and oh no, that's the yellow portion, and this is the white portion. It's actually not white, it's going to be uncolored batter that I'm going to have as the top layer. The only titanium dioxide in this soap is in the green layer, just to give it a little bit of opaque, lighten it up and have a little bit more opaque quality to that layer. And I also gave this layer an extra stick blend because I wanted it to thicken up on me more than the other 2. And the fragrance has already been added as well. So I've added this layer, and it's, you know, thickened by my stick blending. I didn't want it to be totally level because I thought that would be, you know, a bit boring. So I've given it some texture here before we do our mica line. So here's the mica line. It's tricky. You need enough mica for it to show in a very thin layer. But you can't have too much mica, or when we cut the soap, it's going to fall apart. So I'm just blowing on it lightly there. I feel it needs a bit more mica in the edges. This gold mica is so fine that I keep it in that sandwich bag because it just goes everywhere otherwise. So I'm pushing my luck here maybe, but I wanted to show, I don't want to risk doing all this work and you can't really see the mica line. So I'm giving it a touch more on the edges. And this is the first of 2 mica lines. I'm going to then do the yellow layer and plain batter. the next day, so it has been exactly 24 hours, and I'm ready now to cut the ginger lime soap. And what you can't tell, and I wish you could, is that this soap smells wonderful. And I actually made this soap because at work someone had one of those atomizer things. You just, they've got their essential oil blends going, and yeah, someone had this atomizer, scent atomizer, and the blend they had smelled so much like ginger lime that I decided I'm making a ginger lime soap. I have messed up the placement of these. Let's do these ones. Now, I don't want the mica lines to drag, so I'm going to cut this on its side. So I've lined it up perfect. I'm just going to turn it and cut it like this. I'm not going to cut through any lines here. Ooh, there's the end. So I wanted the mica lines to be interesting, not straight. I wanted them wavy. And I wanted these colors exactly what I have. And the mica line has turned out. It is showing as gold. And it's not falling apart. And the topping even looks better. I think if I had piped it, I would be disappointed right now in that. I think this is a less distracting. It's about the mica lines. And if I'd piped it, it would be distracting from the design feature. So I just wanted to do something that I don't do often. I'm going to do some more experimental soaps in the next few months. I like this. I'm very happy with this, even though I've kind of got my limes in a funny placement here. Let's see if I can cut the rest of it. So the reason my piping, the reason what happened with my piping happened, where it set up too much on me, is because I had mixed up the topping batter, and then I was waiting for it to set. And while I was waiting, I decided to watch something on Netflix. And what I chose to watch was the Amanda Knox documentary. And I just got engrossed in it and lost track of time. And then I realized that. I was like, oh, I should go check on that batter. And there the batter had set up way too much. Just from me being distracted. Oh. And it is not the first time I've done that lately. While I'm waiting, I'll do something else. And then, you know what I should learn from this? And I should set an alarm that tells me to go check on the batter like every 10 minutes or something. So, obviously, the Amanda Knox documentary was a good show. I really enjoyed hearing her side of the story because I remember all those years, I always thought she was innocent. And I was always very worried about her. And I actually prayed for her when she was in prison. What happened to her, I thought, was just unfair. There's strange evidence, and she explains some of the odd stuff that happened to her in the police station. So, I recommend watching it. That's what I'm trying to say in a rather long-winded way. So the reason I'm cutting it on its side, I don't know if I explained it well enough, is if it catches any of this mica, I would rather it run this way than down. And that would mess up the face of my soap. However, it seems like the mica line has stayed in place anyway and hasn't dragged past the face of the soap. It smells so good. So when that happened to the batter, I also had a thought. For a moment there, I paused. You know what I could do? I could mix up more batter and then just throw out what I had. But the reason I didn't want to do that was because I had actually put fragrance in the topping. And then I'm wasting the fragrance. Like, this is really ginger lime throughout. Usually I don't put fragrance in the topping, but I did in this soap. And so that's what I was thinking. It was like, well, I can't just throw it out. It's fragranced. So I did the next best thing, which was texture the top instead of piping, and I think it was a better idea anyway. So I hope that you enjoyed watching this making of my ginger lime soap, and I'll see you in the next video. Take good care of yourselves and your family, and have a good week. Bye, everybody.